And a nervous wait over the next few days for those with mortgages. Some are saying there could well be an interest rate rise on Tuesday when the Reserve Bank meets. Joining me live is Sydney town planner and co-founder of Yes in My Backyard, Melissa Neighbour. Melissa, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, Tim.
I think most people are hoping there won't be an interest rate rise on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's only going to compound the issues that we're already all facing.
Now, those issues are long and varied. Let's start with a lack of housing supply caused by property prices. And prices rise for 15 months now.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing problem. And what we're really seeing is this lack of supply driving up prices. And that's why we're trying to focus on getting the planning controls loosened to allow more supply to come onto the market. It's a key focus of us at Sydney YIMBY.
And the housing market, it's awfully difficult for renters, and there doesn't seem to be a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's a really scary situation for renters. You know, we're seeing sometimes 50 or more people lining up to inspect a home, and we know that only one of those are going to be able to move into that place. It's so important that we get focused on building more homes and fixing the planning controls to allow that supply to come onto the market.
I do love the name of the business, Yes in My Backyard. Of course, that is a play on the NIMBY, which is not in my backyard, which is a lot of people, they want progression, they want things to happen, but as long as it's not near them. So basically, if I'm right here, you're saying, look, we're all in this together. If something's going to help others, I don't mind if it's next door.
Look, that's exactly right, Tim. You know, I think in a housing crisis, we need to start looking beyond the impacts on our own, on ourselves in our own streets, and look at the broader impacts. And I really implore people to think about, when we're saying no to new development, what are we by default saying yes to? And we're saying yes to things like urban sprawl, which contributes to climate change. We're saying yes to essential workers not being able to afford to live in our city, and to 30 and 40-year-olds leaving the city because they can't afford to raise a family here. As you said, it's important that we start to join those dots.
Yeah, like you say, plenty of people are leaving the big cities, Sydney and Melbourne, Brisbane, because they are becoming too expensive. Is there any answer to this for, to people, particularly first home buyers, to get in?
Look, the long-term solution to our housing crisis, to our rental crisis, is to build more homes. And that's why we're really supportive of some of the New South Wales Government reforms to our planning controls, which are going to facilitate and allow the development of more houses right across our city in our existing urban areas where we need housing the most.
And have you sort of signposted where? Is it Western Sydney, if we look at Sydney in particular?
Look, if we're talking about Sydney in particular, we're talking about anywhere from the CBD all the way out to Western Sydney. It's important that we build houses in our existing urban areas where there is existing infrastructure. Obviously, that needs to be upgraded. It goes hand in hand. But we'd love to see more development near train stations and, as I said, in areas where we need people to live, near hospitals and so forth.
And do you think the New South Wales Government, can you isolate a few of their programs and initiatives that you particularly like?
Yeah, we're really behind the new transit-oriented development state layer reform. So that's to it's basically allowing six-storey houses and six-storey apartments to be built near train stations or transport nodes or even town centres. So this means we can start to have people living a more walkable lifestyle and accessing public transport to get to where they need to go. So we're really behind that transit-oriented development. It's a great urban planning solution. And also the well-located and diverse homes state layer, which is going to allow dual occupancies, townhouses, to be built in our existing urban areas in almost all suburbs, which is fantastic because this is what we want to see, this gentle density infilling our existing urban areas.
Gentle density, I quite like it. As a town planner, it's also very important to build with the sympathy of the environment and a city or town's history.
Absolutely. And we can have well-proportioned and appropriately scaled new development that can actually enhance the streetscape and bring in new character and more amenity than what was there before.